Hi, I'm George Mascarinas, National Food Leader for Eurus. We are here today to talk about handling knives correctly. You may ask why? Well, lacerations are a common workplace injury that is avoidable if we adhere to some simple guidelines. We want you to leave work in the same or a better condition than you arrived, so you can enjoy the moments that matter most at home and with your friends and family, and also to protect your most valuable asset, your hands.
This knife handling module builds on and complements the on-the-job training you should receive. As well as watching this video and receiving on-the-job training, all employers should understand the requirements of the PWI or the SWSP to ensure they can perform the task in a safe manner. Once your supervisor is satisfied that you can competently perform the task, they will sign the verification page on the PWI or the SWSP.
Chef's knife, a knife that is intended to be used in food preparation. Paring knife, a short tapered knife with a sharp blade designed for removing the outer skin of vegetables or fruit. Serrated knife. Serrated knives with their scalloped tooth-like edge are ideal for cutting through foods with a hard exterior and soft interior, such as a loaf of crusty bread or a melon. A boning knife, a knife used for removing the bones of poultry or meat. Filleting knife, a knife used for filleting or skinning fish.
Please remember, before setting up your chopping board, to lay down a lovely paper towel to keep it safe and sturdy from moving. This will reduce the risk of slips and cuts. Hi Kathy, how are you today?
Hi George, good to meet you.
Awesome. We're here to do some basic knife handling skills. Now that we've got our chopping board all set up and it's nice and safe, we're going to start with our PPE. We've washed and sanitised our hands,
Yes.
and now we're going to put on our cut-resistant glove.
Oh.
The glove goes on the opposite hand that you cut with. So if you're right-handed, you put it on your left hand, and if you're left-handed, you put it on your right.
So my left hand, and the label goes on the top.
That's correct.
Okay, so black on your palm. That's good. Okay, feels good.
Nice and comfortable. It's a correct size.
Fabulous.
It's important that we have the correct size for you. Make sure that you're safe.
No, that feels good.
And then over the top, we put a vinyl glove.
So not on this, not my right hand,
No.
over the glove.
That's correct.
Okay, and why do you need another glove?
We do this to reduce the risk of cross-contamination.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whenever using a knife, blue gloves are to be worn to ensure any glove tips cut off are easily visible in food.
Easy.
Yours fits fantastically. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it feels good.
It feels nice and comfortable.
Feels
it's not
good.
too big.
No, I think that's great.
Brilliant. And now, this melon has been cleaned. I'll show you the best way to remove the skin in a safe manner.
Great.
You can use a chef's knife, but I find it easier to use a serrated knife as I get more control. I always start off by squaring off my fruit or vegetable to give me a straight and level surface to put it on. That way it doesn't rock around. And then I always work away from myself. Working away from yourself with a knife limits the risk of injury. And if the knife slips, it'll go away and not towards you.
Looks good.
Now you turn the melon over and finish off your cleaning. Once again, working away from yourself. Once you finish cleaning, be sure to remove all excess mess off your board. This will limit any risk of you slipping, cutting, or the knife catching. And a nice clean work surface, is always the best way to continue. Now, Kathy, it's your turn. Here's another melon that's been washed.
Good.
It's your turn to clean it. Now I'll get you to stand in front of the board, square yourself off.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So which knife should I use?
I prefer the bread knife, so I suggest you go with that. Remember how we started? Cut off the bottom and the top. Gives you a nice level surface.
Okay, it's done, and then we make it.
That's
Give
it.
it
Turn it up
stable.
on it. And cut away from yourself. Take your time.
Okay, I'm not as fast as you.
That's fine. Let the knife do the work.
Okay.
Be sure to keep your fingers nice and away from the blade.
There we go. And then
That's it. Now you're going to put the knife down. When using knives, always place the blade facing away from you. That's great. You're doing fantastic.
is that okay?
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's fantastic for your first attempt.
And then throw this out.
That's correct. Remember to keep a nice clean surface area. I also wanted to make you aware that the cut-resistant glove won't prevent punctures. It is only there to prevent lacerations, and it's actually the material that does that, not the rubber. The rubber is there only for dexterity. Please be mindful as well, when operating a meat slicer, it is still necessary to wear a mesh glove.
Let's recap. Wear the glove on the opposite hand to the knife. Wear a food-safe glove over the top. Cut-resistant gloves will not protect hands from knife punctures. Wear mesh gloves when using a meat slicer. The PWI or SWSP must be signed off by a supervisor or manager once you are competent at all aspects of knife handling.
And Kathy, the one exception to using the cut-resistant gloves is cutting sandwiches with a sandwich guard. Yeah, it's good to see that you've got your food-safe gloves on. Serrated knife, sandwich guard pressed down, cut straight through and a nice easy motion. The guard will prevent any cuts.
Great.
I wanted to demonstrate a technical piece of work with a cut-resistant glove on and obviously using the right knife for the right job. Here we have a filleting knife, a piece of salmon. We're going to skin it. Sometimes you'll find that it's hard to get a grip. I suggest you dip your fingers into a bowl of water and then some ordinary table salt acts as an abrasive and helps us hold on to the slippery piece of fish. Run your knife flat against the board. Let your left hand do the work, running the skin back and jiggling it back and forth. And as you can see, that's coming off nice and cleanly. Once again, back down. If you need to stop for a second if you're losing grip, dip your fingers back into the salt. It's a great technique. I use this at home. And once again, let your left hand do the work and keep running it back and forth, nice and easy, nice and easy. And as you can see, nice and clean. Some parts of the business, a mandolin is used for finer slicing. As a safer alternative, you could always use a RoboCoupe with the appropriate blade. Always hold knives correctly. Always hold fruit and vegetable correctly. Kathy, always remember, whenever passing a knife from one person to the other, the best way to do that, and safest, is with a handle pointing the other person. Never try to catch a falling knife.
Never apply too much pressure to the knife. This could be due to the knife being blunt.
Never cut frozen food. Whenever walking with a knife, ensure the point is facing down and close to your body. Never use a knife as a substitute for another tool. Apart from injuring yourself, you could also damage the knife.
Never leave a knife in the sink. Slippery hands and handles can cause an accident. Knives can be stored on a magnetic knife rack or in a knife box or pouch. Never store in a drawer with other utensils.
Let's recap. Always pass a knife by the handle. Never store a knife in a drawer with other utensils. Always store knives with blade away from yourself. Never catch a falling knife. Don't apply too much pressure. Keep knives sharp. Never cut frozen food. Always walk with the tip pointing down. And never use a knife as a substitute for a tool. Stealing a knife helps maintain sharpness. This process realigns the edge, correcting for dulling causes such as a rolled edge. A sharpening steel is a type of hardened cylindrical rod used similarly to a honing stone. Diamond steels are now available that have an industrial diamond coating and can remove blade metal as well as straighten. Therefore, used correctly, they can reprofile a knife instead of just honing.
Wear a cut-resistant glove on the hand holding the steel.
Step 1. Place the heel of the knife blade against the tip of the steel. Blade toward you at approximately 20-degree angle. The blunt edge of the knife should be raised about a 1/4 inch above the cutting edge. Step 2. Pull the edge of the blade across the steel in a sweeping motion such that the tip of the blade ends up touching the handle of the steel. Maintain the 20-degree angle. Step 3. Put the steel on top of the knife with the blunt edge angled 20 degrees away from the steel. Step 4. Draw the knife across the steel again. This time, you are resharpening the other edge. Step 5. Repeat steps 3 and 4, 5 to 10 times. always alternating sides and always maintaining the 20-degree angle while making sure you pull across the entire length of the blade.
Never lose concentration and remain focused.
Step 6. Once you have completed sharpening your knife, you must wash your knife. This ensures there is no residue remaining on the blade that may otherwise lead to contamination. When washing and sanitizing knives, use hot soapy water. Rinse, dry, and sanitize. It is not recommended to place knives through a dishwasher. Always face the blade away from you. Avoid distractions. Wear your cut-resistant gloves.
That's fantastic, Kathy. You're doing a great job there. And everybody knows how small cuts and abrasions can take a really long time to heal. And remember guys, a second-hand shop doesn't sell second hands. So look after the ones that you've got.